Gervonta Davis's team said they do not believe that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are actually going to fight. Then Ryan Garcia does something that makes it look like they could be right. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division where there's a lot of nonsense going on, a lot of jankiness going on in a fight that is supposed to take place between Devin the Dream Haney, the WBC world champion at 140 pounds, and the challenger Ryan King Rye Garcia, former victim of Gervonta Davis in his fight before last, recent conqueror of Duarte by knockout win in Houston, Texas, just a few months ago. They are supposed to be fighting in a fight that may be pay-per-view, may not be pay-per-view, a fight that may be in New York, but it may be in Los Angeles or may be in Las Vegas. And this, my friend, is 8 weeks away from the fight. Gervonta Davis's team said that they didn't believe the fight was going to happen and gave a reason. Now, while their reason may be off, they definitely predicted this right before it happened. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you. And to my guy right there, Mr. Enigma, thank you so much for that file. I know that was probably foggy, but his comment in the super chat, in the super thanks was, they said Tank Ryan was 50-50. We see what 50-50 fights look, we see what 50-50 fights look like. That was in response to Gervonta Davis upset against, could have an upset against Frank Martin in that fight that hopefully will be taking place. And just so you guys know, moving forward, if you have a super thanks, I am going to do my best to read your super thanks in a video so that you get some return on your investment for supporting in the chat. So thank you guys so much for your continued support. But let's get into this. All right. What happens when you do business with 3 people that have been rumored to be intoxicated on a regular basis? You get things that get screwed up. And that's what it looks to me like Devin Haney is experiencing, because this, for a very, very solid young man in Devin Haney, and I mean a very, very solid young man, always seems to be working, always seems to be on his business, you know, accepted Islam, achieving everything that he wants to achieve in the sport, always in the gym, looking like he's in good shape. To be put in this situation where he has to deal with Ryan Garcia going forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards just seems real shaky to me. I spoke with Kenny Ellis on the Rise podcast. Shout out to the Rise podcast. Shout out to Coach Squeeze. Shout out to my guy, Senior. Definitely Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny, and everybody else on that show. Coach Kenny Ellis predicted that this fight between Devin and Ryan was not going to take place. His reason was he didn't believe that Devin was going to really want the fight, that Ryan Garcia is a big risk, and that he doesn't believe that these guys are going to actually make that fight. Now, I didn't agree with that particular take because I don't think Devin Haney is scared of fighting Ryan Garcia. I'm not going to argue with him because, hey, man, you know, Kenny Ellis is a multiple-time trainer that has trained a world champion. Clearly, he knows what he's looking at. That doesn't mean that everybody's going to agree, because there's other trainers that would say differently. However, I didn't see it being that way, but I can't help but notice that the very next day, Ryan Garcia puts out a tweet and says that he wants this fight not to be in Brooklyn, New York, which is the Barclays Center, He wants his fight to be in Vegas at the MGM Grand, and he's going to be fighting to move that fight not from New York, but back out to Las Vegas, where they originally said that fight was going to take place. That will most definitely push that fight back if you try to do that. Also, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have it there in New York City during that time period because of Canelo Alvarez. Now, Devin Haney came out and responded to somebody who said that exact same thing, that the reason they moved that fight from Las Vegas to Brooklyn or the Barclays Center is so that they didn't have to compete with the ticket sales for Canelo Alvarez. Devin Haney said, I fight before Canelo, dumb ASS. Little bit of a problem there, though. People have to fly in. So the question is whether or not people are going to be willing to fly in to Las Vegas two times in a month. Or for some people, whether they're going to be willing to fly into Las Vegas, pay for the food, pay for the hotel, pay for all of that 3 times inside of a roughly a month. Because you have a Tim Tszyu Keith Thurman fight in Vegas on March 30th. Then just 35 days later, you have a fight with Canelo Alvarez in Vegas. And right in the middle of that, you would have Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia in Vegas. So I don't think that it is. I mean, if it was the only one, if it was just on March 30th and you didn't, and it was a full month in between the two, it wouldn't affect it. But I promise you that if I wanted to go to those fights, and I'm a big fight fan, love going to boxing matches, I have to pick one. I'm not going to go all 3 of those. I may buy all 3 of the pay-per-views, and that's expensive enough because, you're running up on $300. You're running over $200, $250 for that, right? And then you got your memberships that you got to pay for your DAZN for the Ryan and Devin one, right? So, and then, I wouldn't really count the cost of the monthly fee to the Amazon Prime because I already have that for other issues to buy things and get them sent to the house. But at the end of the day, man, this is just really, really flaky behavior from Ryan Garcia. Very flaky behavior from Ryan Garcia. And a reason why you shouldn't even be announcing fights until you got this settled. That's why when people keep asking, like, when is the PBC going to announce this fight? When are they going to announce that fight? They don't announce it, and they don't announce their fights until they know where the fight's going to be, when it's going to be, and where it's going to be. At the very least, you need to know that because you have to have people buying tickets. You have people holding their money up waiting to go to New York. Oh, okay, I'm going to New York. All right, well, they switched it to Vegas. Oh, well, I guess I need to switch it to Vegas. Or should I switch it to Vegas? Because who knows, in a week, they may switch it back to New York. So where's it going to be? How are you going to market for all of that, right? So at the end of the day, man, just a very confusing situation. I think that Devin Haney is being led by the nose in this particular instance because it isn't even just this particular thing with the venue. Ryan Garcia did it to Devin Haney with the fight itself. When he originally said, I'll fight Devin, no, I'll fight Rolly. No, I'll fight Rolly. Okay, no, I'm going back to Devin. Man, what kind of herky-jerky nonsense is this, man? Like I said, man, there's something to these people being inebriated when they doing this business. And it is absolutely ridiculous at this point. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.